Once such a briefcase was part of any circus trick. Everybody waited. What will happen when it opens? In the 21st century, a small black box got a completely different, terrible meaning. If you believe the media, it contains a red button, a signal authorizing launch of the most powerful nuclear missiles filled with deadly uranium. It can stop the world in a second, destroying cities and countries. But the world will stop in the same way if uranium suddenly disappears. Today, fuel from this element is used for work of over 400 nuclear power plants around the world. Their number is growing due to people's enormous needs in energy. Every day, we routinely turn on the light, boil water in a kettle, charge smartphones, and it is a tiny part of the use of uranium energy. What is the real nature? A murderer or a helper? And what makes uranium so popular? The chemical uranium was discovered in 1935 and named after the planet, which at the time was studied as little as the element itself. Almost 100 years later, chemist Maria Sklodowska-Curie would give her life in an attempt to study uranium. Only after that did scientists officially recognize the existence of radiation sickness. Until then, uranium powder had been freely sold in pharmacies as a photo developer. Besides, it was used to make yellow paint for ceramics. Today, uranium solves more complex problems. Uranium indicators are used by geologists to determine the age of a rock. Check craftsmen add uranium elements to glassware. Plates from depleted uranium help the Formula One cars to become high-speed rockets. They are used to balance each car in order to reach the ideal weight of 600 kilograms. And real space rockets have steering wheels weighted with uranium. In all the cases, a certain type of uranium is used, a depleted one. It has a different atomic weight. It is indicated with the number next to the name. Reactors and nuclear bombs, on the contrary, contain the most severe and radioactive uranium-235. Nowadays, it's almost an ideal type of fuel. The extraction of uranium is completely cheap, while 25 grams of this element replaces 125 tons of coal. Paradoxically, radioactive uranium is more environment-friendly than coal or gas. It does not emit toxic exhausts into the atmosphere. Moreover, used uranium can be recycled. A third of the world's uranium reserves begin its journey in the Canadian state of Athabasca. Annually, almost 12,000 tons of uranium ore are mined there, open cast from the quarry. It is faster and more convenient than traditional mining. The extracted ore is sorted and ground, and then transformed into a solution by dousing with sulfuric acid. The mixture is cleaned from inclusions of unnecessary elements and concentrated with special resins. After that, the uranium is dried and placed in steel tanks. But this is only half the transformation. To work in a reactor, uranium needs to be enriched. That is, its natural qualities are made more active. To do this, solid uranium is converted into gas by applying reduced pressure. Then it is pumped through special tubes many times. And for several million years, without the participation of man, uranium becomes lead. If you bring a counter of Geiger to the uranium ore sample, clicks can be heard. Each click is the division of an atom and a release of energy. In 1945, a uranium bomb, Little Boy, was dropped on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. The photos of the horrific consequences of the nuclear explosion are still frightening. After the war, people tried to send nuclear energy to a peaceful channel and even came up with a name, Peaceful Atom. But soon, they had to realize that they were just nice words. In 1986, there was a catastrophe at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine. In 2011, at the Fukushima power plant in Japan. Both tragedies took thousands of lives and crippled even more. The nature and people are gradually coming to their senses. They say about the affected regions now, but that is not so. It takes thousands of years for the environment to recover completely, and the traces of a nuclear explosion will vanish only after 700 million years. This is the half-life of uranium-235. On Earth, thousands of generations will replace each other while radioactive atoms will continue to divide. Perhaps the Earth itself will disappear before the terrible chain reaction ends. Radiation is the most terrible garbage of the 21st century, invisible and destructive. But if it cannot be felt and recycled in the usual way, how to help the environment? First, you need to stop wasting electricity. The turned-on TV nobody is watching, the air conditioner working at full capacity, extra light bulbs. It is millions of kilowatts of energy. To produce it, more nuclear power plants and uraniums are needed. And still, we should think about the problems caused by man. To say no to wars and destruction. And then, that very terrible black briefcase can appear quite harmless.